Judge, this is a case of Cassidy.
Thank you. You all may be seated. Miss Cassidy, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
We were married for several years, and he adopted my son from my first marriage, which meant my first husband relinquished all rights, and he doesn't want to take care of the child anymore now that we're divorced.
Okay, sir, is there a reason you don't want to take care of your son?
Well, he's not my son.
Well, yes, he is. You adopted him.
I thought I was in love with her. I just wanted to please her.
So you didn't really love the child at all, your son? Because he is your son, just so we're clear. You're not going to be able to say things like, it's not my child. You adopted this child legally. This is your child.
Well, he's not blood. He's her son. He's not my blood son. He's a redhead.
What does that have to do with anything? The color of his hair?
Kids.
What does the color of his hair have to do with anything?
I just always hated redheaded kids.
Okay. How did the two of you meet?
Well, I had been divorced several years, and I'm a farmer.
All right, folks, brace yourselves. This courtroom clash is about to get wild. The video kicks off with some high stakes, cinematic music as Judge Vonda Bailey takes her seat, setting the tone for what's shaping up to be a fiery legal battle. The energy in the room? Electric. Enter Miss Cassidy, calm but clearly fired up. She lays it all out. Her ex-husband voluntarily adopted her son from a previous marriage. But now that they're divorced, he's turning his back, refusing to provide for the child he once pledged to raise as his own. Then the ex-husband chimes in, and things escalate fast. He tries to dodge responsibility, coldly stating, he's not my biological son. Gasps. But Judge Vonda Bailey? She's not buying it for a second. She slams that argument down hard, reminding him, and the entire courtroom, that adoption isn't symbolic. It's a binding legal responsibility. Every bit as real as biology. The drama is sky high, and trust me, we're only scratching the surface.
Yes, he's a farmer. Ma'am.
I will give you your opportunity to speak in just a moment, okay? Go ahead, sir.
So my friends took me out to a club. I call them mammary clinics. Took me out to a mammary clinic for my birthday. And that's where I met her. And she strapped it to me. And I fell in love with her that night. And
you fell in love enough to adopt her son?
To marry her, because I thought I was in love with her.
Okay.
And so we got married, and she coaxed me into adopting her kid.
Okay, you adopted the child.
Yeah.
And you're here today because she wants you to
pay child support.
Pay child support and take care of your child.
He's more of a ballerina than he is a boy.
What do you mean by a ballerina?
I don't want that kid. He's.
Sir, you adopted this child.
Well, let his own father adopt him back.
Wait a minute. His father terminated his rights, and you adopted this child.
Well, she can talk.
I'm not about to play this game with you, sir. Mr. Cassidy, we're not doing that today, okay? This is your child. You legally adopted the child, and you can be legally responsible for paying child support as well.
Well, his first dad gave up his rights. How come I can't give up my rights?
Well, you know what? We're not doing that today. Today, you're going to take care of this child, okay?
Okay, what?
And you're not going to give him up because he's a red.
Now here's where it gets juicy. The ex-husband straight up admits he only adopted the child to please Miss Cassidy, not because he actually cared about the kid. And then, wait for it, he calls the child a ballerina and starts whining about the kid's red hair. Seriously? This man is out here acting like hair color has anything to do with being a parent. Miss Cassidy even drops the bomb that she dyed the child's hair just to try and make him more accepting. Can you believe that? The judge is visibly frustrated. And honestly, so are we. His excuses? Beyond shallow. It's clear he's more focused on himself than the well-being of the child.
No.
He don't fish.
Sir, Mr. Cassidy, how much money do you make a year?
Approximately 83.
83,000. And ma'am, now I'm to you. What does this mean, farmer?
I'd rather not go into detail.
marriage.
Okay. $83,000 a year. And sir, you said, how many other children do you have?
I have 2.
2, okay. So you have 3 kids
They're
total.
not redheaded either.
Sir, the color of their hair should not affect whether or not you decide to be a father to those children versus your adopted son. You understand?
I understand.
Okay, well, as long as you understand. I
Judge?
have your gross, yes ma'am.
So I've dyed the little boy's hair now. So
What color is his hair now, ma'am?
His hair is the same color of his now.
And you all are aware that the color of this child's hair doesn't matter in terms of the financial responsibility, right?
I understand that, but he doesn't, so I'm just trying to make it to where he
I don't
likes
want to buy
his son.
tutus for
You
the
know
rest
what?
of
It is
his life.
ridiculous. She even had to dye the child's hair to even make you receive any type of comfort, sir. That's ridiculous. Now, at $83,000 a year, I have your gross at $6,916.67.
Wow.
Who carries health insurance for this child?
I do.
How much is it for the child only?
$230 a month.
$230. Okay, sir, you're going to reimburse that to her monthly. Yes, you are. And your net comes out to $5,482.88.
Oh my. Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
What? Do we need to call an ambulance? You okay? Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe an ambulance might help me.
Okay, well, right now I'm getting ready to help you with these numbers, okay?
Or
Giving you
12
credit for
gauge.
the other children that you have. Your child support obligation is $808.72 plus the health insurance reimbursement of $230 a month. That makes your monthly obligation $1,038.72.
Okay, that's gonna.
Okay, and you can afford it. It's $83. You make $83,000, sir.
Next up, the judge gets down to business. She reviews the ex-husband's income, $83,000 a year. After running the numbers, she hits him with the monthly child support, $88.75, plus $230 for health insurance. And of course, he's not happy about it. He starts whining about his farming overhead costs like that's some kind of excuse to skip out on supporting his kid. Miss Cassidy tries to push for back pay, but the judge shuts it down. It wasn't included in the paperwork, so her hands are tied. Meanwhile, the ex-husband's sarcastic jabs about farming and money, not helping. At all. Judge Vonda stays firm, reminding him, this isn't about your feelings. It's about your legal responsibility, and he's not getting out of it that easy.
Well, there's a lot of overhead for farming.
Well, you know what? Dye your hair red.
Well, that's not going to help me pay my bills. That's not going to help me feed my cattle.
Well, you know what? You might want to choose some different alternatives.
Well, you got to eat. That's what. Where do you think your food comes from?
You grow my food?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I pay for it from you, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Well, guess what? You're going to continue to grow your food, and you're going to take care of this child, who's now the hair is dyed because you had a problem with the color of the child's hair. Ridiculous. Is there anything further here?
Yes, the last year that he hasn't paid, can he pay the back pay as well?
You know what? That is a great question. Are you asking for back pay today, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, unfortunately, you did not put that in your paperwork that you filed with the court requesting that.
Just when you think this case can't get any wilder, boom. Miss Cassidy drops a hilarious suggestion. Maybe the ex-husband could avoid child support by remarrying her. The courtroom bursts into laughter. Even Judge Vonda cracks a smile, but she quickly shuts it down. This isn't reunification court. With that, the case is dismissed, and the ex-husband is officially ordered to pay up. But even after the ruling, his attitude stays cold, dismissive, and completely unapologetic. It's obvious, he still doesn't get it, and probably never will. This segment wraps with a mix of humor and heavy eye rolls, leaving us all shaking our heads at the sheer audacity of this man.
Unfortunately, if you did not ask previously, I can't award it to you.
Okay.
So, monthly obligation. Listen,
Judge, there's another
you don't
option.
need all of that.
If he wants to come back and remarry me, we can do that. Then he won't have to worry about child support.
Well, I mean, that's an option.
I'm going back to my ex-wife.
That's an option.
I've got my other wife and kids. We're coming back. We're back
Just
together.
thought as long as he was
okay.
going back and forth, you know.
Oh, well, I'm glad to see you.
No going back.
Well, I'm glad to see that you moved on, and I'm glad to see that you're open to that possibility. But unfortunately, this is not reunification court.
Maybe she
This is
should go
child
back to the
support
memory
court.
clinic and go to
So,
work.
well, guess what? If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Want to give that to your wife? Maybe she'll have you comb your hair.
Do that here.
In Italy, lawyer Vonda Bailey steps in to break it all down. She lays out the legal weight of step-parent adoption under Texas law, making it crystal clear. Adopting a child means a lifelong responsibility, even after divorce. No loopholes, no backing out. You adopt, you commit, period. Bailey wraps things up by encouraging viewers to subscribe and share their own stories, reminding us that behind every case is a real child's life, not just paperwork. The segment ends on a powerful educational note, tying all the courtroom chaos back to real-life consequences. And honestly, after watching this, you'll never look at child support cases the same way again.